Okay, I'll open the meeting at 6 o'clock. Take roll. Tracy?
Here.
Kathy?
Here.
Jim? Here. Alan?
Here.
Amos?
Here.
Gary's absent, and Leon is here, and I'm here. So, we'll go into public participation. And the first one is Rita and Gary.
Well, Rita is not here, and I don't know what she was gonna say, but basically it was just, we'd like cooperation and, just videotaping the meetings, and that we wanted to put them on the internet, just as a public service. So, I think that was pretty much it.
Okay, and I know you heard some of this yesterday, but by county council, I have to, for our records, explain your rights and our rights. And you have the right to come into our meetings and tape. You have the right to come in and take pictures with your cameras or your phones. You have the right to come in and take notes. You can't disrupt our meetings in any way. Our rights are that we can't pay you for anything, for taking movies or pictures or anything.
Correct.
So, you're more than welcome here, because that's your rights. Most of us don't really want to be on camera all the time, but that's not our choice.
Well, I don't imagine a whole lot of people are gonna watch it anyway.
What's the point?
A public record for one, and just get some information out there so that people kind of have an idea. If they want to tune in, they can tune in and have an idea of what's going on in our community. I myself am so busy, I hardly ever can make a meeting of anyone. I'm sure there's a lot of other people are. The sewer department meeting that the sanitary district that I attended the other day was very educational for me, and I understand a lot of what our sanitary district is up against now, whereas I didn't before. And so I think educating the community and the members of our community is a need that should be fulfilled.
The only question I have is if we need to go into a closed session, or do our rights require that because there would be maybe names that would be brought up that we might have to discuss over late payments and stuff like that, that should not be public record.
And, I'm sorry, go ahead, Gary.
County council hasn't got back to me on that.
Okay.
And I don't.
Can I help you with that?
Sure.
As far as I know, closed session is closed. So that
Yeah,
means-
and my research isn't conclusive either. I just kind of scanned it, and it looked to me like there are certain times it's allowed by the Brown Act for you to have closed sessions, and a lot of it is over private information like that.
Being
So-
compliant for the tribe, no, they cannot have it recorded, they cannot have a camera in any closed session for council.
Yeah.
It's not allowed.
Well, then,
But meeting minutes, upon, if like you're audited or something, the meeting minutes would show what has been discussed in your closed
Right.
session.
Okay.
and that's what I was sure of, but I called the county council because we have to protect ourselves.
Correct. Yeah, we don't want to do anything out of order either.
Okay.
Cool.
So, they have nothing else?
Rita had something else, but she didn't show up, so there you go.
Okay. Well, that was short my meeting a little. All right, we will go to the tribe. And, I'm terrible at remembering names.
Sam.
Yes, but
Sammy Alfield, I am compliance for the Creek Tribe. I'm also the IHS project manager for the Creek Tribe. Tom Fielden, he is our emergency preparedness for Creek Tribe. I think most of you know Tom. So we were at the sewer board meeting yesterday, and we wanted to offer our services to the sewer board for the project that they are doing. we want to make sure that these projects are actually happening because they are actually affecting the Indian homes. So I work very closely with Barry Jarvis with IHS because the portion that IHS pays is because of percentage of Indian homes that is impacting. We want to make sure that we work together. We have staff, we have grant writers, we have abilities that smaller units don't have. So our purpose of coming to this meeting is to make sure that you guys are aware. I know that for the, I believe it's phase 2 of the Happy Camp upgrade water system, that the $217,000 hasn't been secured yet. 73,000 is being paid by IHS, the percentage of the Indian homes. There's 217,000 that still needs to be secured, and we wanted to offer our services. We do have grant writers that we can help and work with you guys to secure this funding. I can be the contact person, and we have one grant writer currently getting ready to hire another one, and we want to let you guys know we're there. We want to work with you guys. We want to make sure these projects happen. So council, at the council meeting, directed Tom and I to make sure that we come to these meetings. They're supposed to be here.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a council member here to kind of reaffirm
I
that,
think
yes,
Bud I think
we
he kind of
can
forgot.
offer our services.
So,
because
but we
we're-
want to make sure you guys know we want to work with you guys. We want to help you write these grants. We have the staff that you guys don't have. We have a lot of knowledge writing the grants. We can even research grants for you. I started already doing research and sent some stuff to Carol for the sewer board. And USDA has a lot of wastewater grants and loans out there. So that's one of the avenues that Laura Mayton are going to talk with Carol about tomorrow. But we want to make sure that here, you guys, we want to work as partners in making sure that these systems are upgraded. From what I understand from Barry is that maybe in 2016, that maybe some of the federal regulations are going to change on water systems, and the current system that we have now is not going to meet that requirement. So that's the reason for all these upgrades. So we just want to make sure that we get the funding for it, our end and your end, because it impacts our end if you guys don't get it. So that's why I'm here.
And also with the governor's major drought declaration, there's
Yes.
more funding that's coming available right now probably than we'll have seen in years. We do have the staff, and I kind of help them with some of the grants that we may qualify for.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them that you may qualify for under this Governor Brown's declaration, drought declaration, you might have to go through the county and their Office of Emergency Services to get permission or have them apply for those. But again, we will offer, because I know Ron Quigley doesn't have a large staff either. So he writes most of his own grants. So we could help take some of that burden off researching those grants and helping out.
Well, we need your help, because like we said over there, we can't put the water in a position that we have to raise rates to bail ourselves out by using what little money we have. So we do need your guys' help, and we appreciate it. And our manager isn't here, took a little vacation, but when he gets back, we'll get him filled in. You have our email, his email address here?
I think so. I think when I'm replying all to all this that Barry's sending to me, I think it goes to Gary, because there's been some talk about, because Barry was just here the last couple of days. So yeah, I think I do have Gary's email. And I spoke with Gary a couple of times, and I let him know if there's anything you need, let me know. But we want to make sure everybody knows we want to partner with you guys, but it should have happened a long time ago. So it should. So, but Tom and I want to make sure that we work with you guys, you know, one-on-one, and making sure that all these projects get funded and you guys have plenty of money to get them all done, and that's not what's going to hold back
Right.
getting our water systems where they need to be.
Yeah.
And we should get on that now and not
Wait.
postpone it
I agree.
until they got everything, their ducks in a row and then they're waiting on us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it takes a little time on their side.
Takes
Just a little
time.
bit.
Yeah.
But you're right, I mean, because especially when you're writing a grant, you can write a grant for 3-4 years, so that way you're not having to, you have that time frame to wait on IHS. Especially since plans are now in motion, and we have sets of plans to be able to even submit with a grant, even makes your grants even stronger. That this is the system, this is what we're proposing to do. We're already getting the engineered drawings that will actually make a grant more compatible, or
Yeah, competitive.
Yeah,
And
competitive.
Did Gary or Barry bring all the plans by of the upgraded
for
water?
the sewer. He has the sewer done,
He
he's
has the
getting
sewer.
ready, he's marking up the water ones, and he's gonna send those to me, and then I've already let RH and Amos know I make all the copies for them, so they have the plans once they're done. And that should be middle of May, he's thinking.
Yeah, because the last plans that we've seen, there were some changes being made.
Yeah,
Yes.
Barry still was making changes to the rough draft, and he's gonna have that a little bit more finalized and then
Mhm.
send it down.
So we have to see the final one,
Yes.
you know.
And that should be middle of May, he said today. He came and met with me before he left town. And he sent all the changes to his person yesterday, and she told him probably middle of May. He wanted the end of April, she said probably not. So he's looking at the middle of May. But as soon as he sends those to me, I will make sure everybody gets their copies. And then I made a copy of the sewer one for RH. If anybody else needs those, I can make copies of those too, because I know one set was left with you guys
Yes.
yesterday. So, and I made a copy for RH out of mine
Oh, okay.
and gave that to him today.
Sammy, I did have a conversation with Barry, and he had told me that he had some information on grants that we could apply for these purposes, and that he was gonna send that information. And would you just kind of jog his memory?
I will.
Okay.
I'm good at
She'll
that.
doctoring before I will, so yeah, because I've never gotten anything, we haven't gotten
Yeah,
anything.
every now and then I can nudge him.
Yeah, you know, because that's what I told him. I said, you know, instead of walking in the door and saying, you guys need to come up with $270,000, I said it would be nice to know
To see what
in
you're paying
advance
for.
and what's out there for us to be able to get on it and start writing for these grants and not
Mhm.
waiting, you know. And he says, well, I've got some information on some grants that would apply for this, but I haven't seen that info.
And there's actually probably a couple that Tom and I could probably forward on too. Because Tom and I get emailed a lot of opportunities.
Okay.
Because every grant opportunity goes through me. So I'm kind of like the hub of all three entities. I took over Aaron Elman's job,
Okay,
so,
okay.
yeah. So,
Okay.
but so Barry's, he's kind of groomed me a little bit this past year.
And I get a lot of state OES and
Yes.
federal grant information. So I just sent Sammy some today, and I believe it's related to the governor's drought declaration.
Yes, and I've already forwarded it on to our grant writers.
Okay, great, thank you.
There's probably some good opportunities out there right now.
So I'll do some research and send it on to Gary, because that's, the email goes to Gary, correct? Okay, and, when you guys are ready to, you know, go after some, or if you guys wanna have a meeting with us, we can do that, a one-on-one, and what you guys are wanting from us. Our main reason for being here is, we want you guys to know we're here. We wanna work together.
Well, we're not grant writers here, so
But we have them,
we're gonna be dependent on you guys.
Yeah.
that works.
And
Council's already said, why aren't they using us? They're like, we don't know.
And the stuff that's gonna need to get county approval, I'm sure these disaster grants are gonna need county approval. We can get, you know, maybe you guys can contact Ron Quigley and we can all get together But like I said, we can still write the grants, but some of it's gonna have to go through, you know, once you guys go, we need this money. We've got funds from IHS and the Crook Tribe to help finish the water system. Here's what we're looking at. Our system needs upgrade, or we're gonna be out of compliance within this many years. They should approve it. They really should.
And that's gonna be the most benefiting factor of your guys' grants is that once they do change the regulations, you guys will be out of compliance, so they're gonna need and wanna give you guys money to get you in compliance with the future regulations.
And
So,
you'll score higher points because
Yes.
you're cooperating with the.
and we'll also
with the tribe.
score higher points because of our poverty level in Happy Camp. That's a huge factor in these kind of grants.
Well, we'll definitely be in touch, and we'll probably schedule some meetings,
Perfect.
so we know what our part is and what your part is. So
We
we
just wanna help you,
keep this thing going the best we can.
so, yeah. That's all I have.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. Meet you guys.
I know I was first, but I was late.
Good to meet you.
What?
We'll take you up on all of
Tracy Marcel.
Hey, you wrote me my letter of support for the grant I wrote. Well, I owe you.
Yes, you do.
I
will let you forget.
know you won't.
So, Rita showed up,
Okay, I did.
so.
And the
we'll
reason
listen
I'm
to
late
her.
is because I had a gentleman on the phone who would not get off the phone because he's so excited about moving here to Happy Camp. Some of you have heard my sales pitch already. I'm preaching the gospel of people are moving here. And I'm averaging 5 calls a week during the off season for people calling my business. They call because Jade Springs is a land development company. It's one of the reasons why they give us a ring, excuse me. And, sorry, I'm joking. So anyway, here's the service guide for the city services. For Grant Task. And so what we're doing right now
That's disruptive.
is we're going to, and this is art on the rogue. Beth Buchanan put out and here's a newsletter, and here's like a spring programs guide that they put out for burning and what have you. So essentially Beth Buchanan and Chris Sorensen put out a map of the town and all the services that are provided, which would be, the water department would be one of them, cemetery board, the sewer department, what telephone company, what cell phone services work out here, how do you get your propane, who is your, do we have cable television, is it DirecTV, propane, and trash collection. I probably get 30 calls a summer, where's the dump, when are they open, you know, because they just call random businesses. We don't really have anything like this. So Beth is, we're gonna be calling people, getting the former numbers or current numbers or whatever of all the organizations in town, and putting together the guide. So that is step one. And then we're doing a Facebook page that will look very similar to the guide. So when you type in Happy Camp, California, you will have multiple Facebook pages will come up. You'll have websites, but you'll also have multiple Facebook pages. So the commitment that each organization needs to make is to have an editor on the Facebook page. And the editor can type in, say it's, this is a drought. You could have drought information, on days that you can water your lawn, if that's where the drought ends up going. Or maybe there's a coupon that you can get a low flush toilet or something like that. So that the Facebook page for city services becomes very interactive. Burn days, ambulance service benefits, Bigfoot Jamboree, what have you. But it becomes something where people type it in online and they can just pull all those services up. We're also shooting video on the town meetings. We had the congressman in today, and we shot the meeting for fire suppression issues that he was discussing, and we're gonna put it up online. So anybody can pull up our public meetings, take a look at them, see what's going on, maybe get more involved, and just get more of an awareness that's out there. So that is what we're up to. I will be requesting donations for the printing. Otherwise, you will see me in front of Perry's Market doing bake sales. Yay. So anyway, so that's how it is. It costs quite a bit to print them up, and Beth will get prices for everybody, and then they'll know. And if you guys can spread the word, let people know what we're doing, and make sure that we have the correct phone numbers and what have you. So, yeah, questions?
Okay, well, the board will discuss this.
Okay.
And get back to you.
Get back to us, okay? And I'll leave those with you guys, and you can leave them up here, and then I can pick them up later, and I'll carry them to my next meeting. All right?
I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but how's that funded?
How would,
Printing and everything of this?
I'm gonna have to raise money to do it. So we need to come up with cash to make it happen. And they would be passed out, like, we could have them here, sewer department, post office, library, local businesses. So when people come into town, they can see what we have to offer here. I mean, we have a lot of people that want to move here, and there are two groups of people. They're either in their 30s, they're millennials, and they have kids, and they have internet businesses, they have outside sources of income, or they're retired, 55 and older, and they want to move here because it's very reasonable to live here compared to, say, like the Rogue Valley. And you know, I quiz them as to why do you want to move to Happy Camp, and locals will say, oh my God, we live so far away from everything. I mean, if you live in LA County and you want to get from point A to point B, it's the same drive as the River Road. So which would you rather do? Drive the River Road or drive across LA County? So, you know, they've got a whole different perspective. So thank you very much. And let you guys get back to me on what you decide, and if there's anything you want to do, and who your Facebook person would be.
Yes. Okay. Don't look at me.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will. There you go.
I live on it.
Okay. I don't have Facebook, so it's all yours.
Let's approve the minutes of the March 11th meeting.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve March 11th minutes the way they are. I didn't see anything.
I'll second it.
Who's second?
Now,
Okay, motion's been made to, and second to approve the March 11th meeting. All in favor?
aye.
All opposed? We'll go to approval of operating expenses, time card, forward compensation, and bank accounts.
Well, at least we were in the hole for March. I said, at least we were not in the
Yeah.
hole for the month of March.
That's unusual. I think last year we were in the hole pretty good. I'm in the approval of the expenses, time card, board compensation, and the balances.
I'll second.
Go ahead.
Motion's been made to approve the operating expenses, time card, forward count, and bank account. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Did you get that Jim seconded that?
Yep, I wrote it down.
Okay. We got USA North 3-year party time. Oh,
Yeah.
forgot.
still on this. What is this for? The bolt shed.
Oh, I think that's when they knock blades and stuff to the rock.
Is it for Kubota? Yep.
So, is that the lawnmower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lawnmower blades, we also got the wheels with the deck rides on, and then the bolts and motors.
Okay.
And we could use this. We can use it.
Well, actually, although I cringe every time I see this PP&L bill, that is actually down a little bit from
Well, it is a summer job.
the last one, it was 3,000 something. That's what I said, it's down a little bit.
Let's leave that to the 5, just for the time.
Just give it time. Whoa, holy Christ, been Charlie, I went to your grocery store.
I'll need some beer.
Did you guys go get beer and steaks and have a barbecue and didn't invite me?
Supposed to be
Just
here.
sticks, it was BYOE.
Supposed to be here
No.
tonight.
He's never say what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you
We'll
go.
we'll discuss that. Just give you a reason. Let's just give you a reason.
That's printed envelopes.
Oh, it's the printed envelopes, the
Oh.
billing.
It's a
Right on.
Did you get the cleaning supplies
Twice,
at Perry's?
yes.
Okay, that's what this is for.
That's for down there.
The ones that got stolen?
Mhm.
Where'd you get stolen at? I remember that. Where was it?
Oh, it was, just last week, they broke into the little broom closet we have in the bathrooms at the park. Stole all
that's
our
right.
toilet paper and cleaning supplies,
Just what they needed.
my new toilet brush.
That's the biggest heartbreaker for you.
Did we ever purchase those security cameras?
Did you guys file a report? You don't know.
No, I don't think Gary got it ordered for that. So that will get right on him when he gets back to get that one ordered. So
Did
we
you
can
file?
try it.
Excuse me, did you file a police report? Why not?
Pity.
Doesn't matter. You need to make the sheriff's department aware that we're having things going on down there. Vandalism, theft and stuff like that, and the only way we can help back our things up is having a report on record. So,
Call them. Let them know.
yeah.
They need to know what's going on.
I'll listen to them laugh about it.
Well, just tell them, ha, that's your job.
And this next one, I know that nobody's gonna really know anything about, because it happened a year or 2 ago. But Gary was, weeding down at the downtown park, and I walked up to Ron Lampert's front windshield, and it took him this long to put one in and bill us.
Oh, so Gary accidentally shot, he was weeding or mowing?
We don't know
Weeding
that.
and flew all the way across the street from the park and hit his window.
That's what I was
Okay.
saying, how many dollars for?
So, we need to,
The letters we sent.
Okay, so,
Melanie? What, this laser products, that's the one for the bill, the
That's for the
envelopes?
envelopes, yeah.
Envelopes, okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
What's
That's
this?
the one, is that the one with our, the handicap community services district on the
Yeah.
thing, and they're, again,
Amos, what's this?
that's, five things.
Is that the fire extinguishers? I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure. Whoa, that's a spendy window. Which window is that on? Was it out of a pickup?
Yeah.
It wasn't on his building. Oh, it was out of a vehicle? Was it his own personal vehicle?
Yes.
are you sure it was ours that did it?
It was his big white truck.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Spendy windshield. Okay.
Make sure they have two signatures on. Otherwise you couldn't get kicked back to us.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was windshield and labor.
Yeah. Put in his own windshield.
There's two there.
Okay.
That one needs two.
All right. Gotcha.
That's about right.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's about right.
Kathy is signing that one. And sign that one on top.
She has to make copies of this.
Yes. She does.
Back in there, you know, the panel
Put 'em
goes
in
to a
there.
separate. Let her know if you put them in there, she'll be looking for them.
Okay. Next on the, I think you did voted, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we did that, yes, we just didn't sign them.
Alan Dyer and the Rappahannock Coordinating Committee update.
You missed one.
You missed one, USA North, and then you get to me.
Yeah,
Oh,
you started
okay.
that
You
and
started
then,
it.
yeah.
That is, you don't have it in your folders, because there's no sense in making a dozen copies.
I got it.
You have one, you have USA North, plan. They're going to decide how to do the
I
billing,
didn't have all my.
Yeah, they're gonna do a 3-year party plan.
but that other one that I gave you, Gary, is their minute meetings, from their
Oh.
last,
Gotcha. I
for
remember
anyone
now.
to read if you wish.
This is for their, meeting that they have, their minutes.
Oh, their minutes. Right.
And the other one is, so what they want us to pay for 3 years now?
Well, that's what I think they're thinking about,
Oh, okay.
but they'll bill us, so we won't know for a while.
That's just information.
Yes.
Alright. So now, we'll go down to Mr. Dyer.
Okay, just, and I'll make it brief. We had met several times with the county, twice as a matter of fact, with the county. Missed one of the meetings the other day because I didn't run out of gas. Last week was last week. And my brother-in-law passed away last week ago Saturday, and so the entire household was in the dumps for a couple of days, pending on crud for that. So anyway, long story short was I didn't go to the one meeting that they had scheduled on it, and it was at 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock out of the county, and I didn't get a chance to make it to that one. But the offshoot of these meetings were, like, for instance, today, we met with Congressman LaMalfa and Ray Hout. And Ray Hout is on this other committee that I'm on, but they were talking about the West Side Fire Project and the restoration efforts that the Forest Service is trying to put forward, and getting people to be able to go back to work in the woods, and all of the kind of things that we've been talking about through coordination, and they're wanting to continue on with that. LaMalfa made it quite clear that he was willing to do whatever it takes to get back, to do legislatively to get back into the woods and to see what we can do there. We know, and I'm sure he knows that it's not going to be the same as it was during the 80s. It's clear cut and burn and Katie by the door. And the funny part about that is it's been stated more than once during the coordination, and I didn't stay for the whole meeting today because of the fact that it turned into a big, in my opinion, gripe session and there was one gentleman from river area that spoke long and loud, and my brain can only absorb what my butt can endure, and so I got up and left about 2/3 of the way, well, 3/4 of the way, 80% of the way through this. So the whole idea was that there were some things that needed to be addressed. Number one, using locals for information purposes. That's one of the things that I got gleaned out of this, where we would have, for instance, Jim, if he was out there, they would seek out the local person who knows this area, where the homes are, where the home sites are, where the fire hydrants are, where that is, and put those on maps, because one of the complaints that they had was the maps were all outdated. They're from quite some time ago. And so they, in essence, the Forest Service is using outdated maps to show these guys where they need to go for the fires and where the structures are and that sort of stuff. Because a lot of them, new homes and whatnot, have not been, maps haven't been updated. So that's what one of the things that they want to do is use more local people for reference when it comes time to sit down with these fire teams. And some of these fire teams think that they walk on water and that they don't have to listen to the local people, and in the meantime, they're wasting a lot of time instead of getting out into the field. And that was one of the things that was the complaint from the guy upriver. Most of the people, from what I could gather, and again, I didn't stay the whole time at school, but was the fact that these locals are the ones that they want to see have an opportunity to go back to work, even though we're fire. We hate to sit around and wait, when fire, wait for a fire to give our economy a shot in the arm. That's not what we're after. We're after a sustained yield coming from the Forest Service, and that's what what is driving this West Side Fire Project, is to get a sustained yield coming from the forest on a yearly basis, and opening it up to doing the same thing basically the fire does by thinning out the underbrush and doing that sort of stuff, but using manpower and equipment and things like that to get it done. And I think that that's what we're going to need to do, including, this whole deal of managing the forest for one species, the spotted owl. What happened to man? What happened to all the rest of the species that are involved in all this stuff? And the Northwest Forest Plan that was redone in 1994? Was that the one?
That was the original, wasn't it?
That's the original, yeah. And it was supposed to be reviewed in 2004
Something.
and reworked over and looked at, and Judge Dwyer, no relation, was stated in that plan that if there was if his judgment created a problem for communities like Happy Camp, that had to be mitigated by the Forest Service or the powers that be. In other words, we lost, right now we're down 2/3 of our student population just in one one instance. That doesn't count Parish Market, that doesn't count fire, that doesn't count all the rest of the forest economy-driven types of businesses. So we've lost an enormous amount of funding here, and nobody has done anything about it. And that's one of the things that was pointed out to LaMalfa, is somebody dropped the ball. We need to find out who it was and see what we can do about getting that rectified. Now, they did train people. I gotta admit, they did, yes. They trained people, and people who really lost their jobs and stuff like that. As soon as they got trained, they're gone. Because there's no jobs here for them to do. So we're right back to square one. So anyway, we're still hanging in there. We're gonna be doing, I talked to Lopi just briefly, and he said, you need to get back into the coordination part of this thing, because this is the part that has driven this sort of behavior right now. It's got, plus we've also, another thing is Ray Hopt has stepped up and has been a big shot in the arm for our coordination efforts. And he is a guy that we really want to keep pushing, because he not pushing, supporting, because he is making a lot of things begin to happen now, and he's only been in office since January.
And he's our representative.
I know. And he is a fireball. I really like to work with him. And he was one who invited me on this countywide committee, to serve on the countywide committee. So I'm just tickled to death with the way things are going right now. I have letters in support of the West Side Valley Project, or West Side Fire Project. And I will bring them, I forgot them, I apologize for forgetting them, and they're individual letters, not from the board, but we can have Gary sign them. We'd have to bring it back to as a board action. But individually, we can sign them, and then as a board action, we can do it at our next meeting and send it off to Patty, or we can bring it up as an item for next meeting. Then we can do that. Or we can say it's an emergency because the thing is due toward the end of this month. We won't have a meeting ahead of time, and we need to have them signed, but each individual member can sign one as a citizen. But it's a lot more powerful when it comes from a committee that represents the people. So whatever you would like to do, I mean, I have them at home, I just didn't bring them, we couldn't, I knew we couldn't do it, but because of the fact that the agenda was already set when I got them, so.
Well, we'll leave that up to you, how you want it done.
Well, I think individually we can sign them, and then I think if we can put it as an agenda item, or we can, I can request it as part of my coordination thing, if you want to do that. And we sign these letters, and then I can run home and get them and bring them back when we break, before everybody runs off. I know somebody has to go someplace, but if we could, if you want to do that. But I would be more than happy to move that we approve, the letters in support of the West Side Fire Recovery Project, and go from there.
Okay. So, do we want to sign them tonight?
You want to sign them tonight, or what would you? Because I will move that we do that as part of my report.
Okay.
So, okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
So, you want to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Motion's been made and seconded to
Approve
approve the reports for the coordinating
the committee.
committee.
I'll run home before the meeting's over.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Thank you so much for that. And this has been a real treat to work on this now with Ray. I feel like we're getting things accomplished.
I second it.
I think-
Motion Dyer goes up.
Thank you.
So we'll go down to parks, and it's approval of park usage. And the first one you're going to deal with is Customer Appreciation Day Barbecue, and that's for the Siskiyou Telephone. And they want it on June 26th.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Customer Appreciation Day barbecue on March 17th.
No, June 26th.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I was looking at the...
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the Customer Appreciation Day Barbecue the park pavilion on 26. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The second one is the tribal reunion, and we need to do a little discussion on this. They have down Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And last year they took the park on Thursday, and they were still there on Wednesday.
They were there about 3 days ahead of time, and a day after they actually reserved it.
It was like, instead of 4 days, it was like 7 days.
Yeah, I think, did they start going down on Wednesday? Amos, I'm asking you.
Oh, I didn't know you were asking me.
Yeah,
Well, they-
didn't they start going down on the Wednesday before?
Basically, they were there 2 or 3 days ahead of the date that they had reserved the park. 1 day ahead of time, Gary gave them permission to set up their stage because that was going to be time consuming,
Right.
but that wasn't a rental agreement. They just had to make sure that it was flagged off and safe. Then they started coming in even before that time and trying to get things set up. The person that was in charge of renting the park for those days thought that they would be there the day before, get everything set up, and then have it torn down on the last day. And that didn't happen. That's not how they do it. So basically there's some communication error with the people that were setting up and the people that were actually doing the scheduling and renting of the park. So this year is probably going to be a little different, but we will make them aware that they can't come down and set up early.
Okay.
So if we approve this for,
Paid the 400.
Yeah, who?
They did?
I guess what I'd like to know is who calls and says, these are the dates that we want.
It's whoever's in charge of the reunion coordination. This year, it was Sammy Offield.
Okay. So she's the one that's asked for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Correct.
So then I
Who is
think
that?
Yeah, who's, I don't know who that is.
She was the lady that was here.
Russell Atterbury. Is it?
Oh, yeah, Buster.
Buster.
Okay.
That's what it
Well-
looks like.
we need to, if we approve for these 4 days, we need to make sure that they understand that they're not gonna tie up the park for another 3 or 4 days. When we could, somebody else could be using the park.
Right, so what I was starting to get out when I was asking who called to reserve and set the days, I think that we need to get back with that person and let them know that you guys cannot start coming down into the park on Wednesday night and Thursday. And if that's what you want to do, then you need to do another facility use agreement and pay for those extra 2 days.
And,
Okay.
and last year, they wasn't out on Monday.
No, it took them longer than that.
In fact, they didn't go down Monday to start to come out. I was told that they didn't work that Monday.
Yeah, they had the day off.
They had
Yeah,
the
it was
day
a
off.
holiday.
So then it took
My kind of party.
another day or 2 for them to clean it up. Well, then, if somebody else comes in and wants to rent the park for a birthday or something, we can't do it.
Well, not only that, but during that time of the year, if they want to rent it for that whole week and they have stuff set up, we can't turn sprinklers on at all, not even a little bit, because it'll get all their stuff wet. So it turns into a little desert down there, and the grass dies and will not come back. Basically, this year we're going to run into cut and watering a lot anyways, and it's going to be hard if we have to rent it for that long without being able to go down and shoot a little bit of water out there just to keep it semi-green. And I still ended up last year bringing a pickup load of stuff out of the park that was remaining down there and figuring out who it belonged to and getting it out of there.
Okay, so I would suggest that our agreeing to this facility use agreement has a little, what's the word that I want?
Caveat.
Well, that we put a stipulation on it, I guess, that maybe Leonie calls and talks to Sammy and let her know the board's concerns of what happened last year and that we do not want to repeat this year. And she can pass that on to, it probably needs to go over to the maintenance crew because they're the guys that are going down to set up the tents and all this stuff. And if the maintenance crew feels they need more time to do what they have to do, then they need to let Sammy know, and Sammy needs to do another use agreement with more money. That's my motion, guys, for this.
I second that.
Okay.
I agree with you.
A motion's been made and seconded that if the tribe is there more than this agreement, that they need to come and fill out another one and pay for those days. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the next one is for May 23rd. It's a celebration of life for Robert Kent. And what else?
Normally, we don't charge for services.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't in the past. I told her to wait, but I would make sure that it's still that way, because that
We're not gonna change
waive the fee.
Yeah,
things now, so.
Okay.
yeah.
I move approval of the celebration of life request by April Spence for May 23rd with no fee.
I'll second it.
Waive the fee.
Motion's been made and seconded to rent the park to Eagle Spence for May 23rd for a celebration of life with no fee. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And the next one is Aubrey family reunion on May 24th. They want park, River Park areas 2, 3, and 4.
Just for the one day, May 24th,
Yes.
Sunday, from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they didn't pay for this one either, Leonie?
Not yet.
But it
She'll
is,
be in,
it is
I think,
$100.
Friday.
When's it? Oh, I haven't paid yet. Okay.
Okay. Somebody,
I'll move approval of the Aubrey family reunion, park facility use request for May 24th from 8 to 9,
I'll second.
baseball pump and paint.
provided fee.
There we go.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the Aubrey family reunion with payment for the 24th. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, Leonie, I'll come in tomorrow and sign the originals.
Okay.
Okay, we have our safety meeting is back safety. You have your pamphlets.
Where my that goes right now, I should have read this before.
Some interesting stretches in here.
Good.
Yeah, they got some old wooder doing all them exercises too, look at that. Must be nice to be limber. You do those kind of things, yeah?
Everybody read your
As much as I
pamphlet,
could, yes.
do your quiz on the back, and then you'll be back safe.
Do we have the sheet to sign? Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Okay, while you're signing that, we will review the past due water service account. If there's somebody,
Can I request that we go into closed session on this past due water service customer accounts because of the fact that we won't be discussing people's names.
Either that or we can just discuss by the number off to the side if there's something we want to say, like send them a notice or shut
Either
off.
that, or we can just put a check by,
Okay, just as long as we don't bring up the name.
Right.
so that's what I was gonna suggest. If there's somebody on the list that needs to, past due notice sent to, put a check.
I just say anybody that's over $100 in the last column.
Well, you'll see that I wrote.
I see
next
that.
to all the
That's
ones
beautiful.
That I've done.
Yeah.
So, the rest are ones that will come in.
I have a question, Layani. When you mail shut off
Yes.
notice, how many days do they have to come in to pay?
It depends because I have to figure out how close it is to the regular due date, which is the 15th. And a lot of them get paid on that Friday. And so it varies, usually 10 days, 7 to 10 days.
Okay. Would it be beneficial to you if the board established a certain amount of days, like they have, from the day you mail, they have 25 days or something like that to come in? Not too long? So something
It
like,
really wouldn't help.
okay,
It really wouldn't.
okay.
I
Then-
get the money,
Okay,
the way I'm doing it.
okay, then the only thing, next time, this is nice to see what you wrote, but would you put the day you mailed the shut-off notice? So that way I will know when they should approximately have.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So I think we'll have it on next month's agenda to go in closed session on great notice report. And that way we can discuss it more freely and not get ourselves in trouble.
Layani, she's gonna throw something out here and hit me in the side of the head.
What?
Does your brain, oh, you weren't here at the last meeting.
Oh, did I make a mistake on something?
No. I was gonna ask you if you remembered the person that we had told, Gary and Amos, to shut them
Oh,
off.
that's been paid.
And that's what I'm saying, I don't see it on here, so I
Yeah,
was
I see
assuming
too.
that it got,
She
If
did.
you don't see it, then it's been paid.
okay.
Okay, so,
Okay. Yeah, because, you know, when you look at the, down at the bottom here, this figure,
yeah,
that's a lot of money to have out there being owed,
yeah.
you know.
So we'll do this closed session next meeting.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing is discuss governor's water restrictions, and that, I had Leonie put that in there. I want make sure that the board is up on the drought, and I'm sure they are. The governor's supposed to sign some drought thing next week where we have to cut 25% water usage in the state of California. We're not sure if he said the whole state. And we're not real sure that if it's gonna come to us or this far, you know, and it could. If Gary gets a letter saying that we have to come up with a plan to show that we are cutting our water usage back, we have to come up with a plan. Him and I discussed one plan, and I won't go into it tonight because he's not here. And if we do get the letter, we have to come up with a plan, and we have to show that we are going to try to cut back water usage, or we will be fined. If it doesn't come this far and we don't get to the letter and the water in the creek does get down where it's putting us in a bind to keep our tank full so everybody has water, we may have to go and do some kind of a water restriction ourselves, you know, just so we can keep that tank full. We have to have that tank full so we can drink and flush our toilets, but we also have to have it full in case there's a fire in town. You know. So if it comes to that, and the creek gets low, and our system is fighting to keep up with the flow that's going out, we may have to come up with our own solution. And that this was just on here, so make sure that everybody's aware that this could happen. And we're not sure exactly what the governor's thing that he's supposed to sign next year is, how it's going to affect us for sure. But we have to be ready. And when that happens, we'll probably go into a closed session and discuss what we're going to do to do our part, so we don't get a big fine. The one fine that was mentioned earlier last month was $25,000. So I don't know. So anyway, that's just to keep the board informed, and so we're not in the dark when the letter shows up. Agenda items for next month.
You skipped one again.
Oh, wait, I wanted to do that too. Okay.
I'll forget that one.
Yeah, we're gonna postpone that for
eternity.
Julie's meeting. We have to vote in the Happy Camp employees' raise increase. The board discussed it, and we agreed that we would raise Amos's wage up. So now we have to vote to make it legit. So somebody needs to make a motion to raise his wage up.
I make a motion that we increase his wages to $14 an hour, retroactive to the 1st of April or March. April?
When did we discuss it last?
You guys.
At our last
voted
meeting.
April.
March meeting.
Yeah, retroactive April.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to give the employee a raise increase back to the 1st of April. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, now we're back. Agenda items. Is there anything that
Dyer.
we want on the agenda?
And that's retro
To April the 1st. I can't think of anything specific. I don't have anything. Anybody else?
We need to bring up looking into the locks for fire hydrants.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Put it on
I
our
should have had
agenda
that.
for
We'll put that on our agenda to discuss buying locks for fire hydrants.
especially the one over there on the other side of the bridge.
And we might include that in our closed session conversation.
Is that the only thing?
Hmm?
I'm gonna run it.
Buying lots for my right-of-ways?
Okay.
Is that the only agenda item?
Thanks.
Yeah. So I will adjourn the meeting. Oh,
He's just gonna go get those.
Okay.
That's all.
so we can sit here and talk about Stacy's.
Tracy's going underneath the blade tomorrow. That's all right.
So how long you gonna be out?
More. Let me make sure I have a copy of it.
Well, we're just signing, do you want us to sign these as the corporate Happy Camp coordinating? I mean, Happy
No,
Camp,
these
or
are
just personal?
personal.
Okay. Gotcha.
There should be more one of
We
these.
don't sign here?
Huh? No, you signed that one as an individual. That's, you already did the one here for the board.
And
We're
you
gonna
guys-
make 2 more copies here for this. Can I have you make some copies for me, young lady?
You didn't realize we were so dumb that we didn't know what we were doing.
We'll
Now
have
with the personal
Okay,
one,
this
is that,
No.
me sending it to Patty, is that gonna be a conflict of interest? Would that be a conflict?
You're
of
not
interest?
doing it as an employee, you're doing it as.
As
Okay.
a citizen.
board
Okay.
member.
Well, yeah, and this one, I
Oh,
I
okay.
felt comfortable, but the one.
He
that I-
said-
I don't know.
These here, we do, just like here, we do not, and I thought I put my name over here because I thought it was a case of,
And what I'll do is I'll put them
As
in
the
individual
board.
envelopes and send them all
Okay.
separately.
Jim's question, the one that's to Patty Grantham,
Is on the same thing.
it is, but he's sending it as an individual
Yes,
who works for her?
sure, because it's supporting it, why not?
So, no conflict of interest, because that is my direct supervisor.
It's up to you. You don't have to sign it.
No, I don't have any problem signing it, I mean, I fully support it, but I just wanted to about that conflict of interest.
Well, that's totally up to you. I mean, did you get both of these?
Employees can do that though. Express their opinions and get input to these plans.
Yeah. I would think you could, especially if it's meaning that you're gonna go back to work.
How are you doing?
okay, there's that. I had to scoot them up my side over there
That's
first
perfectly fine. I will-
because I thought we were doing it as a board.
And I will make sure that these get
I
mailed.
have to get with the county and a note of issued out so that we can access that way.
So you go in through the work center, is that what you're saying?
No, go up there, by the old engineering building equipment shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was it,
Come
yeah.
in that
Yep.
way.
Alan?
Did you sign all 3? We're good to go.
No, I didn't.
Did you sign
Three,
this?
yes, I
I'm
did.
confused about boobs.
Okay, he's part of the chair of a committee.
No, I mean how we're signing that.
Just
As an individual.
as an individual.
Okay.
Yeah, the only one that we're signing as a board is this one here to Patty, the big one. This one.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
So I will adjourn our meeting at 7:15.